Well, hi everyone. Welcome to the New England Racing Show, Manchester, New Hampshire, Channel 23, also on YouTube, and like us on Facebook, and you'll get the show every week. Well, this past weekend we were up at Oxford Plains Speedway for their opening day race. Friday was practice day, so we went up there, and the Wicked Cool Midgets were there, along with the Pass Tour Pro All-Star Series, and they had about 45 cars, and that series has really taken off. I remember when they started 10 years ago, everyone said pro stocks are dead in New England, and Tom Mayberry, who runs the Pass Tour and also owns Oxford Plains, proved that to be not the case. That series seems to have been replaced the Bush North series that later became K&N, Kids and Nephews, which is all over the United States now. It's a developmental series for Sprint Cup stars' relatives. But anyway, that series is gone pretty much from here, and we have the Pass Tour and we have the ACT Tour, American Canadian Tour. In the past, they were competitors, but they joined up in the off-season, and they also had the ACT Tour cars. They had 26 of those, 26 or 27, and they went 150 laps. The Pass Tour went 150 laps, and thrown in between, we had our series, the Wicked Cool Midgets, did 30 laps of all-out racing. So it was a stock car crowd, but they seemed to get into the midget race. We only had 10 cars show up our first race. You know how it is opening day. Some people aren't ready, but for a 10-car feature, it was pretty exciting. We had a lot of battles for the lead, battles in the mid-pack, 2, 3, 4, 3 wide, battling it out wheel to wheel. And I got to hand it to these drivers to be able to run that close and not touch each other is amazing. And the crowd liked it. So Friday was practice day, and we did a walk through the pits, checking out the pass cars. Went over to the Hoosier tire dealer, saw hundreds of Hoosier tires that I wish I could roll over to my trailer, and talked to the Hoosier guy. The ACT cars were off in another part of the pits, and those run American Racers, so you've got two different sets of tires, two different brands. Anyway, Joey Pole won the ACT. He actually sat on the pole and wired the whole field. Wayne Hellowell, the 27 car, who raced super modifieds at Lee and raced all kinds of stuff, but he's a heck of a driver. He went from, I believe, 8th to finish 2nd. Nick Sweet was 3rd. This young lady, Emily Packard, was 4th. Jimmy Hebert was 5th. We've seen Jimmy win a ACT race at Lee. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Jeff White, 6th. 7th was Travis Stearns. 8th, Mike Zeter. 9th, Rich Dubo. And 10th, Jonathan Borvet, I believe. Some of these people came from Canada to race. They have some Canadian races also. So 26 cars started, and I'm not sure how many finished, but it was pretty exciting. The Pass Super Late Model race, the winner was Mike Rowe. 2nd, DJ Shaw. 3rd, Tony Risi. 4th, David Oliver. 5th, Garrett Hall. 6th, Cassius Clark. 7th, Reed Lampfer, who we interviewed in the Augusta car show back in January. 8th was Joey Doran. 9th, Brian Hoare, a former ACT, I believe he was champion. 10th, Bobby Therian. 11th, Richie Dearborn. 12th, Tim Brackett. 13th, Jeremy Davis. 14th, Glenn Lucy. And 15th, Scott Mulkin. So we're going to go to the tape where we did a pit tour on Friday. We'll show you how cool these cars are. This is just up in the back straightaway, just showing you the track. That's the front grandstands there, and they got a complete set of back grandstands also. There's the pits, part of the pits. And that's the roof of the concession stand right behind us. It's a popular place to be. The pit tower, where they tell you where to line up and everything. And that there, we're zeroing in. They have a drag strip in the back, going from right to left. And there's the lights at the end of the I don't know if it's a quarter mile or an eighth of a mile. Here's the Hoosier Tire section. A lot of crew members measuring tires. They'd measure a tire. They're marked, actually. A lot of them were like 86 and a half as they come off the die or whatever. And then they would put them up on the rim and inflate them. See if they could get the same or bigger or whatever, smaller, and if it didn't, they'd bring them back to the tire guy and he'd mount another one on there. They had a couple of tire changers going right there. And they were kept busy. A lot of money there. Say, oh, I bought some tires, they only lasted 50,000 miles. Or they did pretty good. Here they last, I don't know, 20 miles. We talked to the gentleman on the right mounting a tire, and we asked him the difference between Hoosier and American Racer, and he said the American Racers are softer sidewalls and a softer tire, so for whatever. I believe that's Ben Rowe's car, 4. I was just amazed at how nice these cars are. It's one of the Dale Shaw cars. Oh, he builds cars, not one of his own cars. 21, that's David Oliver. He ended up finishing 4th in the race. The 59, Reed Lampfer, who we interviewed up at Augusta, he finished 7th. There's the 60, DJ Shaw, finished 2nd in the race. And this was all Friday afternoon. They predicted rain for Saturday, so they rescheduled the race from Saturday to Sunday. And Sunday was a beautiful day. So we're looking at these haulers. .5X, Bobby Therian. He finished 10th in the race. The 55, Tony Risi, finished 3rd, actually. We had this beautiful car. I don't know who that is. He wasn't in the top 15, but he was as far as looks go. Yeah, we're looking at some of these haulers, and you see right there they have a ramp that goes up, and the car goes up on top. Johnny Clark's car. And then underneath they have all the cabinets. So, and then you look up top, and some of these haulers you'd see a backup car in the front. So they have two cars up top. And then right next to it on the left is just a regular trailer. You know, maybe a 24-foot trailer versus the, I don't know, that's got to be a $120,000 trailer with the cars on top. But I think you can have just as much, if not more, fun with a regular trailer. They say that after the race, the guy with the big trailer and the motorhome, $200,000 motorhome, pops open a beer and complains about the high cost of racing. And then next to him, the guy in the open trailer and the old pickup truck pops open a beer, and him and his friends talk about what a good time they had at the races. 37, Brian Hoare, finished 9th. I had trouble telling the difference when they're going out on the track between the pass and the ACT, except for the stickers. But I guess the ACT cars use spec shocks, and the 603, I believe it is. It's a 350 Chevy with aluminum heads and a 2-barrel, and 550 2-barrel, and they're getting 380 horsepower, I believe, out of those. Whereas the past cars, most of them are using the 604 engine now with the fast burn heads, and either with or without a cam. And without the cam, I hear they're putting out 460, and with the cam, 500 horsepower. So that's pretty substantial. 42, I'm not sure what that is. I mean, there was 45 cars that showed up. They had a Consi, then they had a last chance race. Just to show you how much this past tour has grown. Then they also have the Granite State Pro Stock Series, which is, I don't want to say a step on, I guess it is a step under the pass. It's more like a lower budget series where you run wet sump engines versus dry sump. I think they might have some other rules that contain the costs a little bit. And they run, I think they have a 12-race schedule this year around New England. And a lot of those were running with the past tour. We know the 5 car of Dylan Moltz, who was the Granite State Pro Stock champ. We saw him there. He used to race quarter midgets with Dylan. And these are the past modifieds. They had 7 of them. Nice looking. They're a little different than the asphalt mods that we're used to seeing. But you get up close to them, they're every bit as nice. There's Joey Pole on the right, the 97 black car. They're getting ready to go out for practice here. These are the ACT cars. Some of them were doing double duty. I guess Joey was. He had a pass car also. I think this 4 was also. .37. I wonder if that's Brian Hoare also doing double duty. Unless these are the pass cars. I believe these may may be the past cars. Like I said, they use the same body, so it's kind of hard to tell unless you really know. And I don't really know the difference by looking at them. Let's see, if they're running Hoosiers, they're past cars. We'll look out for that. Yeah, Hoosier. Is this TJ? I guess that's the best way to tell. I was just amazed at the quality of these cars. It's kind of, if you would go back in time in the 80s and look at Winston Cup cars, I'd say these are at least as nice as those were. Hard to believe some of the Cup cars used to go out on open trailers. '77 Cassius Clark. Reed Lampford in the 54. David Oliver finished fourth. You can see the sponsors aren't DuPont or Budweiser, but they're local companies. And here's the wicked cool midgets getting ready to go out for the first heat. You split them up. There was 5 in each heat. So just 10 lap heats. And they run Ford Focus engines with a cam in them, and they put out about 175, 180 horse, weigh 1,200 pounds with the driver. So that's a pretty good horsepower to weight ratio. That's Anthony Nacella out front, drives a Valente modified in the Valente series. Paul Scally in second, Richie Morocco in third, a young man out of quarter midgets. Paul Scally's a NEMA competitor, came up and raced with us. And in the back is Pete Cataldo, who was a rookie, so we started him out back. And right in fourth place is the 42 Juris Coopers right there. Part of a team with him and Christian Briggs of 44. They drew for heat positions, and then we took the first 4 out of each heat, and we had one of the drivers draw an invert, 4, 6, or 8, and he drew an 8 invert. So the winner of this race started 8th, and we had the 2 rookies in the back row, 9th and 10th. So that was Anthony Nacella right there. Paul Scally and Richie Morocco going at it for second. Richie's trying to hold it on the outside. This is the second heat. On the pole, Christian Briggs, the 44. Outside, Andy Barrows, the red 46. K-Man, Kevin Hutchins, the black car with green lettering. Second row inside. 18, DJ Moniz, second row outside. And John Townsend in fifth place because he's a new midget racer. Used to race modifieds at Beach Ridge, he said. Gave that up about 12 years ago. Now I guess he's got more money and more time on his hands, so he's doing a midget. Actually drove pretty well. Except he spun during the third practice and something happened where he bent his rear axle on the right side a little bit and gave him a pretty bad vibration. So he raced part of the feature and pulled off. The 44. Christian Briggs leading. Battle for second, Andy Barrows and DJ Moniz. K-Man went off the track because he was using old tires from last year that were worn out. A battle for second. Andy getting underneath DJ Moniz. As you can see, they're pretty even on power. So it's how you set the car up and how good you can drive it. Christian, Andy Barrows, and DJ Moniz. Okay, well, in the feature, the midgets, the 30-lap feature was pretty exciting. They had Anthony Nacella started 8th. He was the quickest car. And K-Man, the one that went off the track, put new tires on his car for the feature, and you could tell it really affected it because he just took off with DJ Moniz, the 18, in pursuit. After about 10 laps, we had the 42 Juris Kupris, 25 Richie Morocco, and 76 Anthony Nacella fighting it out for third. Anthony got up to third, and by 15 laps, halfway, he was up to second and trying to catch the K-Man, who was kind of gone, but not quite gone. And Anthony caught him with 2 laps to go and passed him. So the finish was Anthony Nacella, 76, K-Man, Kevin Hutchins, DJ Moniz, Richie Morocco, 4th. 5th was Christian Briggs. 6th was Paul Scally. 7th, Juris Kupris. 8th, Jim Cataldo, the rookie. 9th, Andy Barrows. He had some handling problems and had to pull off. And 10th was John Townsend, who had the bent rear axle, so he did about 15 laps and had to pull off. So it was a pretty exciting feature. And hopefully we're racing again in 2 weeks at Beech Ridge, May 2nd, with the Pass Tour again. And we expect to have 15 cars, hopefully closer to 20. But that was Sunday, and everyone went home with sunburns because there wasn't a cloud in the sky. It was just a beautiful day. And we had a lot of fun, which is the main thing here. Didn't spend too much money. The Midgets didn't. The Pass Tour and ACT sure did. But that's what they want to do. And they put on a heck of a show. 150 laps each. So that was it from Oxford. And our next race will be May 2nd at Beech Ridge. Coming up is practice day at Star Speedway, Saturday, April 25th. And they'll be shaking down a lot of the super modifieds, which is the new division at Star this year. So they're going to run the crate engines from Lee. Some of those guys are coming over versus the built engines that'll be running a 2-barrel, a 550. And we'll see how they can compare with each other. They're going to just keep modifying the weight break given to the crate engines and see if they can be competitive. If not, my feeling is they're going to end up going to you can update to the 604 that the Pass Tour uses and get your 500 horsepower. And I think they'd be competitive then. So there's a bright future for the super modifieds at Star Speedway. I remember when we used to go there in the 70s and 80s. They were there every week, 25, 30 of them. ISMA seems to have taken a lot of them away, and they priced themselves out. But I think the small block is the super of the future. So we'll see how it goes. Also, the Midgets will be there 4 times, and they have the strictly stocks, the Outlaws. So there's going to be a lot of action at Star this year. So we're going to be there Saturday, practice day, and we'll have some reports and some tape to show you next week. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.